Hey everybody, welcome back to Signature Dish. I'm your host, Siggi Bennett. We are preparing for Father's Day, and if there's one thing that my dad really liked, it was a turkey burger. I've been making them for years, and so I thought that I would share with you guys my recipe for juicy, flavorful turkey burgers. So, let's get cooking good looking. So the reason why a lot of people don't usually go for turkey burgers is because turkey kind of tends to be on the drier side. What you need to do to combat all of that is to add in some flavorful liquids to your turkey meat. I like to go for dark turkey meat just because dark meat is usually juicier than the breast, but you guys can use the breast, and just make sure that you're adding some flavorful liquids. So I've got a pound of dark turkey meat here. I'm going to add some teriyaki sauce. This is a great little bit of flavor. This one in particular is like a Caribbean island teriyaki. But teriyaki sauce always adds a nice little dynamic of flavor. I'm gonna add about a tablespoon of olive oil, couple dashes of liquid smoke. I use the liquid smoke if I'm going to be cooking these on the indoor grill. I'm no grill master. I'll leave that up to my husband. So we've got a little Worcestershire sauce. Does anybody know how to say that correctly? Just a couple dashes of this. And then we're gonna add 1 beaten egg. So we've got all of our liquids here, and now it's just time to season it up. Another thing that happens with turkey is it's just not seasoned well. So I find that you can honestly throw any and everything in here to make it taste good. I'm gonna do some Creole seasoning. You guys feel free to use some Lowry's or whatever seasoning salt you like. Some oregano, onion powder. Give me a second, hold on. That Creole. I'm gonna add some garlic powder, few shakes of red pepper flakes. Feel free to add more if you want a little more spice. Black pepper and a tad bit of salt. You kind of already got the salt with the seasoning salt, but we're just gonna add a tiny bit more. And then we have our fresh ingredients, some chopped parsley. If you want to use dried parsley, go right ahead. Onion and garlic. All right. So we've got everything in here, and this liquid, all these liquids are going to make this very wet. So what you want to do so that everything kind of sticks together, I have a piece of really toasted toast here, whole wheat bread, and this is just going to kind of act as breadcrumbs. So feel free to use breadcrumbs if you only have breadcrumbs, but a piece of toast works just the same. It also adds some texture to the meat. You know, we're always looking for different flavors and textures and a little crunch. So when I was a kid, I wasn't allowed to eat red meat or pork or anything like that. My dad was a super health nut, kind of crazed person. He was a chiropractor and he worked in holistic healthcare, so he never allowed us to eat red meat. So a treat for us was to go out to a restaurant in Montclair, California, which is like a suburb of Oakland where I'm from, and go to this restaurant called Flippers, and he would let us get turkey burgers. So it was like always a treat to look forward to, of something like we would do maybe once a month or so. Right now I'm going to wet my hands because we don't want the turkey meat to like really stick to our hands. And then we're just gonna mix it all up and form our patties. We're gonna put them on a plate and pop them in the freezer. Maybe like 20, 25 minutes. You just kind of want them to firm up a little bit so they're not falling apart on the grill. So one time my dad took my best friend and I to Flippers. And my best friend Genevieve, she's allowed to eat meat. So she orders her burger, and my dad orders us, my brother and I, obviously, turkey burgers. And so when the food came, the waitress set the beef burger down in front of me, and she gave my best friend the turkey burger. And I immediately recognized it was not turkey. So I ate it. I think that was the fastest I've ever eaten anything in in my entire life. I was probably 3/4 of the way done with it before my dad realized what had happened, and he was pissed. He was very upset. So I think that was like the only time I ever tasted beef in my adolescent life. So I'm just gonna make these patties. Try to make them uniform in size. I'm always cooking for my family, so I always do like 2 larger ones and then a baby one for Jet. But these should make about, a pound, should give you 1/4 pound size burgers. And we're just gonna pat them in 2 circles, and then we're gonna pop them in the freezer, like I said, because they're very, you see they're very like moldable right now. We just want them to freeze up a little bit so that they don't fall apart on the grill. So my dad is no longer with us. He passed on quite some time ago, but whenever I have a turkey burger, it always reminds me of him. So my dad was from the south side of Chicago, and he was a pretty interesting guy. At one point in his life, he was a gang member and then went to school to become a chiropractor and like turned his life around and had this whole holistic approach to healthcare. And so not everything I make he would approve of, but I definitely think he would approve of these turkey burgers. Got some Pepperjack cheese on this one. These go great with any cheese you want. I'm an extra pickle kind of gal, so I'm light on the lettuce and the tomato, but I like a ton of pickles. I can't wait to eat this. This is so good. Okay, I think that's enough. That's enough pickles. All right. My dad's no longer with us, but I know for sure he would have loved my turkey burgers. So this one's for you, Dad. Happy Father's Day.